This is the retired United States Navy SEAL, former Deputy Commander of the United States Central Command, CENTCOM, and former Director of Strategy and Defense Issues at the United States National Security Council. He's also a member of the JINSA Iran Policy Project. Happy to have back with us Vice Admiral Robert Harward. Admiral, let's bring it back because, well, I don't know. There seems like the memorandum of understanding didn't hold so far. Trump's over at NATO, and he said, "You know what? Let's hit them back," because the Iranians hit some cargo ships, hit some oil ships, if I'm not mistaken, and then we turned around and sunk some of their small boats. I'm hearing, Admiral, that tonight might be a little bit more fireworks. We may hit Karg Island, which is the Iranian major oil distribution port. Your thoughts? And have you heard that?
Shocking, absolutely shocking. Listen, the one thing that's been consistent with Iran is playing the game, trying to milk the United States in every way they can to achieve their objectives while not giving up or trying to capitulate on any of our objectives. That's become readily apparent to everyone. And I think the good thing going on right now, the president's in Turkey with all the NATO leaders, even some Arab leaders, and there's a lot of discussions on how important it is, not just to the United States, but to them, Europe and the other nations. So I do believe the president is realizing he's going to have to accomplish his objectives, and not just the free passage through the Straits of Hormuz, which has happened significantly, but all the other objectives. Ensure they have no nukes, that they stop their surveillance. It's important to note, though, that during this period, the Iranians have been able to float about 55 million barrels of their own oil, while Saudis moved about 35 million. That's what stabilized the market. But that can be short-lived because Iran is demonstrating to all they control the straits. And that's completely unacceptable. And that's going to drive a greater coalition to act against them. So, yes, I do think we're going to see more military activity. I'd like to see more economic pressure, shut down Iranian oil again, blockade, take additional measures to strangulate them financially, and tie that into military actions to really drive the long-term change we need.
Admiral, I never understood. From the beginning, from the very beginning, I said, let's kind of deal with them. Let our U.S. oil companies come in, produce more of the Iranian oil, and we'll give them the oil. Like, we'll take what we need and we'll give them, or we're going to wipe you off the face of the earth. We threatened it a couple of times. We never did it, and we never cut a deal. We decided to back off, and then we let them sell their oil again on the world market. I just never understood why we did that in the first place. If you're going to play hardball with them when this is a memorandum of understanding, not a signed treaty, why let them sell? Why let them get their feet back on the ground financially, which I believe that's what we're doing right now. You just pointed out 100 million barrels of Iranian oil they sold. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars that they're putting in their coffers to what? Fight us again.
Well, I think this was the carrot and the stick. Look, we're going to let you get a little revenue back, but you're going to let all the world economy flow as well. And obviously that did not work. They want to reinforce their long-term ownership of the Strait. So I think we're going back to exactly what you went. We're really going to double down. And at the end of the day,
sir, no offense. I haven't heard that part of it yet. I've heard we're going to hit them. We took out their, whatever's left of their Navy last night. We might hit cargo. But yet I haven't heard Scott Besson come out and say, we slapped those sanctions back on. Anyone who trades Iranian oil is no partner to trade with the United States, which is really, the carrot didn't work. Let's try the stick again.
Now, I don't want to contradict you here, but don't forget there are three elements of power any great nation has, any nation state has. That's military, we've demonstrated. That's financial, that's what we could do with the blockade and other measures of shutting out. And then don't forget political. And that's what's happening in Turkey right now. They're putting together that political coalition understanding with the Arab nations, with NATO and others who have a vested interest. And I think it's going to take all three components of those powers to drive change with Iran. And I think they've come to the realization they're going to have to synchronize and leverage all of those to get the long-term peace and stability everyone's looking at. So they tried the least kinetic, give Iran an opportunity. That failed dismally, just as it has in the past. But I think at this point, and we should hear this coming out of the Turkey summit, there may be a different approach here where we really
Admiral,
integrate
I
all
point
the
out,
elements.
Vice Admiral, Admiral, Navy, sir, did we ever control the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, no one challenged the Straits of Hormuz. We always provided free passage support. No one challenged it. Iran has stepped up and now made a
sir,
claim along with Oman to others.
Closed. It was closed for 100 days, right? It's no one to get blown to smithereens. I get that, but at the end of the day, when we said we're going to back out, the Iranians claimed they had control of the strait the whole time, and did they not? If ships weren't passing because they said they would blow them out of the water, and it didn't, no one transited, they in fact controlled it. So when we said, you know what, all clear, we said, but by the way, that means ships transit the Gulf or the Hormuz Strait at their will, and Iran says, oh no, we're still not letting you unless you pay a toll. Doesn't it seem like they've controlled it the whole time?
Well, I wouldn't say control it. They threatened it. And that's what it was really about. They don't control it, but they can threaten anyone passage as they demonstrate.
Sir, if you can shut it down at will, if you can shut it down at will in a moment's notice, sounds like you control it to me.
Well, I would debate that because your oil's not flowing. If you're going to shut it down, we're going to shut it down. And that was the strategy. And again, here we gave an opportunity, a quid pro quo. You let all the Saudi oil, UAE oil flow, we're going to let yours while we negotiate it. That obviously failed. So as I just said again, I would not call that control. We control it at the end of the day in terms of
explain to me, sir. No offense, I like having these. It's in my nature. Explain to me how we control it. Explain to me how, if we control it, it hasn't been open for 120 days from the wartime through the time we're supposed to be at peace now or ceasefire. They've had nonstop control. How is the United States, who all we want is free passage through there, still haven't had that for a single day in the last 3 months?
Well, I would tell you again, as I've just said numerous times, did not we move 35 million barrels of Saudi oil through, where other ships, where nearly half the ships who had been trapped moved? So again, control is there. But here's where I would agree with you. Now everyone realizes, the administration realizes. That's why I believe coming out of the Turkey summit after this NATO's meeting, you're going to see a much different strategy at play here.
Yeah, I would like to end this. I hate the idea of wiping a civilization off the face, but they've proven time and time again, their people don't want to get involved. Their IRGC wants to continue to fight the evil Satan in the United States. Maybe it's time just to do that and open the damn strait and let commerce around the world continue again. Maybe the people in Iran will finally step up and say, hey, we're on Satan's side here because you guys are getting us killed and starved. Sir, we got to let it go. Vice Admiral, appreciate your time. Appreciate your time very much, sir.
Good to see you.
Admiral Robert Harward.